last time, the Protectors of the Past were reunited as Winry and Rayland caught back up with the group. And together, they made their way to Lord Dashkoban's lands to meet with said Lord and garner his support with his troops. We then made our way via horse, via bird, to Lady Timor's lands, where we similarly had a meeting with the Archmage Lady. And upon achieving alliance with said Archmage, we met up with an unexpected addition to Lady Timor's people, which was Bryn's son, Keth. And they had a beautiful reunion, and that's where we left off.
You can always tell the recaps that Rob does by the script versus by the hip.
Yep.
They sound
shorter by the
different.
hip.
They do sound very different.
I think probably from the hip, I sound like a drunk person trying to tell somebody something. Listen, I'm sick. Get off my ass.
I think the last thing, if I remember correctly, that was going on was you guys were going to spend the evening just kind of hanging out with Keth. Is there any particular plan that you had?
Evening? What do you say, Steph?
What?
There was talk of Rayland and Myetharia doing some dueling and bringing Keth in on that.
Keth. Come over here.
Come here, boy.
Yeah, right.
I bet his arm. It's okay.
Sure. Yeah, what's up?
You've been in a fight before.
Yeah, plenty of times.
I'll draw my sword, my rapier. Mind if I see what you got?
Should we? Why don't we go to like the practice yard or something? Like,
I assumed we were in the barracks. I assumed we were like in an area where we could probably like step into a yard quick.
Maybe we should use the practice swords though. Yeah.
Yeah, I guess, but Myetharia and I don't really use practice swords.
No,
but
I guess. Oh,
no, it's
okay.
not. Listen, it's okay. We can use the practice sword. Now, sheath it. Yeah, right, Myetharia.
Anyone?
I think I'd feel bad if I stabbed your son.
Well, I could probably fix it, but thank you for the thought.
We'll grab the swords then. I'll grab two, and I'll toss. Actually, three. I'll toss one to Cass, one to Myetharia, and then Myetharia. Yeah, she catches it. Myetharia caught it.
Of course I do.
Yeah, Keth kind of like reaches for it, grabs it in both hands a little bit, kind of looks at it a little oddly at first, as though he's unsure of what to do. All right, and then he settles into a posture.
Yeah, okay. Myetharia, you mind taking some notes here?
Oh, absolutely. You first. Go ahead.
All right. And I'll just test him out a little bit. Give him a little just poke here and there. Maybe one good swing to see if he can parry it.
Well, he's reasonable enough to where he's not going to stab himself in the foot, or he knows one side of the blade from the other. He isn't at your level of skill or anything like this, but he's competent. He is, if you had to take some notes on his style, he is more, how can we put this? He's less finesse, more aggression. He has
so
a little
I imagine
bit of like
Rayland is Yeah, so he'll swing at me, and I'm dodging, kind of jumping back. He just can't land any kind of blow on me because I'm way too quick.
His blows are too long, yeah, and they're too forceful. Like he puts too much wind up on him.
Exactly.
Got a little bit of like the farm boy overstrong, yeah,
What
sort of mentality.
What are you trying to do over there? Chop some wood, boy? And he'll. What?
No, that's good.
That's a good song.
I was, yeah.
It wasn't too sexual, right?
No. I bit my lip.
It's looking like it's.
I bit my lip from a character perspective as his reaction
face?
of.
Yeah, I was looking at Rob.
It sounded like a "What the fuck are you doing, kid?"
Yeah, no,
I thought you said you could fight, you dummy.
Yeah, no, actually, that is what it is. Okay, good. Then I'm glad I'm not being misread.
You fight like a dairy farmer.
Yeah.
I mean, in my line, I actually fight pretty good.
Do any of you actually get that joke? I bet no one does.
Wait, is that a reference?
That's from Monkey Island.
Oh no, I didn't play that one. Unfortunately,
it's a system of sword fighting where it's insult based. So the one person says an insult, the other one has to retort, and then it goes back and forth.
Very nice.
How appropriate! You fight like a cow. Sorry.
I see. No, I see what you mean though.
Word of advice. A real sword is pretty sharp. You don't gotta swing it too hard to do real damage. So I'll let him take another, big swing at me, and I'll try to swoop kind of under the blade and get very close, and then have the point of the sword kind of just, barely touching where his armor connects. if I can do it. I mean, do you want me to roll for this, or?
Sure, go for it. Roll a dexterity check.
All right, dexterity. Oh, I think I did it save. Well, it's 11. 14.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, his swing is slow, cumbersome. He rolled an 8 or no, a 10 to hit.
Mm-hmm.
So you kind of swing underneath it, get inside the guard as he's trying to pull back the sword, and the little man is just too close with the point of the practice sword kind of against his hip.
The practice sword won't even be doing that much pressure against him, and I'll say, this is really all I need to get into some of your guts. And then I'll sort of I'll end it, kind of put my sword down and say...
He kind of swats the sword away as you do it.
So, maybe less wild swings. You think you can do that?
Not fair fighting a man who's half as tall as you are.
Well,
all right. Well,
about that.
Why don't you try me then? I'll walk up with the.
I'll actually toss.
Sword.
Does she need another sword? Actually, no.
Oh.
I'll go. No. I'll go unsorted. Come on.
Oh, you're gonna fight. You're gonna fight with one hand behind your back, essentially.
Not at all.
Sorry, a few minutes later. Bryn, dear, I seem to have killed your son.
I do apologize.
I think it was a pretty good Myetharia impression.
She should be like, I'm not left-handed. You fight okay, but I'm not left-handed.
Then you should know. I'm not left-handed.
Oh.
Oh, should I roll?
Yeah, go ahead and...
All right. Oh, no.
Roll a dexterity check.
Now that I've heard your exclamation of happiness, dexterity, I believe, is still, 18.
He just comes, raging in, charging forward. I actually rolled a natural 19 for him on this particular one.
Oh.
And so it's enough to the point where you have to actually, parry him defensively. He doesn't, walk up and just, smacking you in the face or anything like this, but he catches you a little off guard. It's a little bit more forceful, and you have to actually go into a full parry for it in order to keep it off of you for the first second.
What about the
does he-
destination here? It's about where you're going. How you're getting there.
I picture.
Journey before destination.
I pick. Oh, get out of here! You can't say the words yet. I picture that there's like a fighting circle, and Rayland steps out, and he's like shit talking Myetharia, and she's walking backwards. She's like, "I'll do it with one hand tied my back," and Kath's just like, "Ah!" like tackles her.
Exactly. This comes flying in. Myetharia's like, oh, goodness. Just full on defensive at the first little bit, and it does take you a minute, but you have the skill, the experience to turn the duel around in fairly short order, and get the advantage on him from there.
Yeah.
Now, what's the sexual energy like in their fight between Myetharia and Kath? Like, is it hot?
Oh my gosh.
It quickly devolves into wrestling, and that. No.
No.
Actually,
he's keeping it very
pretty,
professional for your information.
He's very frustrated after the initial one with Rayland anyway.
Is Bryn here? Did she like escape, or is she watching all this go down?
He's
I'm
definitely
watching.
watching.
I am sitting there just perfectly content, small smirk on my face.
We're beating your ass. You're beating your son's ass right now.
You're just
I'm
watching.
assuming this is not like a violent conduct.
Yeah,
here.
you're right.
No,
You're right.
no,
You're right.
just, showing
That's
him
good.
his,
Actually,
blind
that's
spots
fair.
and stuff.
That's fair.
At one point, you guys look over at Bryn, and she goes,
Yeah.
"The gladiator thumb."
Take him out.
So, Kath.
You're a bit heavy-handed, Kath. You seem to be very focused on destination for your sword rather than your target or how you're getting to your target.
He's like panting
Very
a little
forceful.
bit. He put in a lot of effort and aggression in the opening assault here.
Does it seem like more untamed strength or like calculated strength behind his blows?
Can I just answer with yes? There's a little bit of both in there. It's something that you probably would imagine it's something that he's working on.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense.
And Kath, in war, you're gonna have to fight shoulder to shoulder with your comrades. So you can't go charging in every chance you got. Otherwise, you'll get caught out. So I'll actually grab another sword, toss it to Myetharia, and then walk out there with my own. And here, why don't we practice a little bit of restraint? And you and I will fight side by side. I don't want to see you leave this plane of and I'll draw like a little. If my foot moves forward, you don't move past my foot. You understand?
Yeah, sure.
So what we'll do then is Myetharia will have two swords, and she'll be sparring against both of us. And I'll step forward, and Keth will have to stay on the other side of my toe from Myetharia. If he crosses ahead of me to hit Myetharia, I'm gonna smack him on the back of his leg and make him trip.
Sure. He does his best. He does his best to follow your guidance and your
so
tips.
If he crosses the line, I'll smack him and say, see, you moved too far ahead. I wouldn't have been able to stop enemy from coming in and flanking you. You got to stay on my side. So we'll try again, do that kind of thing. And I guess, we don't have to keep going, but how does that sound, Myetharia? Do you have any other fun things you want to teach Kath?
Oh, no, I like that. I like where you took it. That's smart.
Yeah. So, and I imagine with Myetharia, I like to imagine too, Myetharia doing like, like doing like a
absolutely
with both swords, like just
both arms going. Yeah.
Well, during
I guess she'll say. I hope you have enough endurance to keep up with war, Kess. Even though I'd hate for you to. Bert. I hate to see you be a part of something like this. War is a nasty thing. And when you're out there on the field, the waves of soldiers pouring over you feels never ending.
Well, my grandpa did it. I feel like it's only my job to take it up. During kind of a lull on the side,
who could
you
use a
guys are
drink?
kind of getting some water.
Anybody up for a game?
Refreshing after a wave. Oh, that. Okay, that's fine.
Any
Too.
up for a game of darts?
So as we walk towards darts, walking with Keth, I'll say, I know that was a little frustrating. I could see it in your face. However, that is the most outward expression of care and love I have seen out of those two in a very long time. And they had good things to tell you. Don't write it off because it was frustrating. Just try harder.
Of course. Always harder. Always more.
You can always do better.
Since it seems like this scene is coming to a close, where we are right now, Lady Timor's place, is it just a castle or is there like a small town around it? Oh, this was like Winterfell, right?
Yeah, that was Dashkaban.
That's what I thought.
Timor's has a little bit more of a town around it. Not a huge one, but there's more certainly.
So, when everyone kind of splits to go, I don't know what Winry is doing, but when everyone heads to the practice yard to watch everybody practice dueling, I'm going to grab my banjo and sneak away into the town. I'm going to try to find an inn or a tavern, and I'm going to take a solid 3 minutes to walk around the place, inside, and see if there are any darts. I'm looking for a tavern without darts.
Specifically, intentionally?
Yes.
Okay. I think that it is reasonable for you to search around and be able to find one. How high class of an inn would you be trying to find?
Don't care, just as long as it doesn't have darts.
So probably middle class then, as darts tends to be a
lower
game of the paupers.
Okay. If I can find one of those, I'm going to find the innkeeper, and I'm going to say, Innkeep, I am renowned. I have traveled much of the world, so I might even be able to say world-renowned at this point. Regardless, I at least have
Are
some...
you Jakarian? Are you going to be playing here?
Oh, did Winry go with?
Apparently, she is now.
I jumped.
I can't wait to hear you.
It's fun that someone else got stealthed instead of Rayland.
I didn't really mean to stop.
I definitely jump, and I say, "Well, my lady, if that is all right with this innkeeper, if it's all right with you, sir or ma'am, I'm not sure what I'm talking to. Very warm greetings. I am Jakarian, the bard. I have some music that I would like to play, if that's all right."
Well, let me hear a sample. Let's see what you got.
All right.
I don't know who we're talking to.
Just a random person. What, you need me to give you a name and a background story?
No,
for them?
I don't.
It's Ryan.
That's not going to ask.
I didn't ask.
The Lively Leopard Inn.
Oh, man, this episode is just brimming with sexual energy. I'm going to, I'll play a little bit, sing a little song.
We're learning things about Rob tonight.
Yeah.
Got a real leopard thing, guys.
A little bit of furry deep down.
After all of the D&D images that I've searched on Google, it's hard to come out of that not
Yikes.
scared.
All right, so.
I just play a little bit to intrigue.
All right, go ahead and make a performance check.
Okay. Only
I'm
I
standing
had
at the
my
front of the
character sheet
stage.
out. Cassie, I was
Passing
honestly
along.
hoping that you would do this.
You know what? Make it with advantage.
23. All right. I rolled the exact same thing. 23.
Nice. After a few moments, it's pretty quick. The innkeeper starts like nodding their head along with the music that you're putting out, and they stop you after like 30 seconds. Say, all right. Save it for the stage. You can play here anytime.
Beautiful. I will step up to the stage.
Did you write a song or something? What are you doing?
Yeah, there was a line I was going to open with, but I can't find it now. So forget it. I step up.
Playing with the book.
I pluck a few strings and I say, "Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Jakarian, and I have been on many travels. I would like to tell you about them now." And I'm going to play the first act of the big epic that I've been working on a little bit in my spare time. I'm doing it like how a comedian might go to a small comedy shop just to work on new material. So I'm trying different riffs and different rhyming schemes and just trying things out to see how people respond. And paying attention to it also.
So what's proficiency is still +3 right now, right?
Yeah.
And Bardic die is 8.
8, yes.
Okay, go ahead and roll 3d8 for me.
Oh, all right. Real bad.
Oh yeah, that's bad.
That is 8.
Okay. So over the course of the night, or the time that you play here for the next few hours, something like this, you are able to then pull in 36 electrum worth of coin.
Okay.
In tips for your work, your effort. One thing that I should let you know, because I don't think I ever talked with you about this, because you kind of stopped playing at inns fairly shortly after I decided that I needed to devise a system for you. You can play at kind of the mid and lower style inns right now, but without a letter of approval from a bardic institution, you'll not be able to play at the highest class inns until you get something like that. And so,
Till you graduate.
yep, basically until you have a recommendation from a official location that the highest class inns will be able to accept you. There may or may not be a highest class inn here anyway, but I just wanted to mention it. And so the amount that you earn from playing a night is, and it's going to get complicated, but it is your proficiency number of bardic die times 4. And then the coin value goes up based on the quality of the inn. You start at playing for coppers at kind of the junky 1-star crappy inn in the poorest district, and at the end you're playing for golds, and then at the top 5 times gold. So you get 5 gold per if you're at a 5-star top of the line sort of inn.
I love that. That's a great plan. You said it was 30 what?
32 electrum.
32. I'll take it.
You can take it in whatever denomination you want, but that is
I took it in electrum.
The total that you are able to rake in for your night's performance.
And I'm just gauging how people like it, seeing what parts drag and what parts people aren't super interested in, and amplifying the parts that they do, and etc. Cool. Then when I'm done, I will take a deep bow and say, "Thank you very much." That's it. And then I will go over to wherever Winry's sitting and sit down next to her and just be like, is she out still? Is Cassie still here?
She just walked away because someone opened the door upstairs.
That's fine. I'll ask her after. We can move on.
Okay. Well, the other group then heads to a place with darts, it sounded like, so Rayland can get some dart game going.
Yeah. Oops. I left the Roll20 game. Yeah, I'll play
I
a
don't know if
game.
it was clear, but the reason I was looking for a place without darts was there would be less chance of the rest of the group showing up.
I look inside, see Jack in there performing, and then I see there are no darts and close the door and leave.
Son of a bitch.
I'll play when we play darts.
Okay.
I think I beat you one time, Raylan.
Well, while the two
Alright.
of you are playing darts over there, I'll let you guys roll. If you want to actually gamble any money, you can feel free to.
Sure. Should I just roll 3d8? Was it 3d12?
3d12s, yep.
That worked. It worked. Did it? Oh, there it is.
Oh boy. I don't remember what's good in that.
You got one bullseye,
6 is
Three.
the
6 to bullseye.
Okay.
You rolled decently.
6, 3, and a 1.
okay. 5, 8, and 11.
Need to actually open it up because it's actually gonna be close, I think.
And I'm gonna re-roll my 11. Is that okay?
Yeah.
I can choose.
You've got,
Which one I re-roll. Right? That's how it works.
So normally you'd do them one at a time, and you'd choose
Oh.
if you wanted to re-roll the one as you went through it. If that makes sense. But
You likely would have re-rolled the 11 anyway.
Yeah, that's fair to say. All right, I got a 7. So 5, 7,
Holy
8.
smoke you.
never mind. I don't really have to look it up anymore. Rayland, you pick up 2 points from the maximum, as you get 2 in the outer ring, like the second ring, and then 1 in the bullseye.
And I'll say sometimes it's not about the bullseye as much as it about the long game.
Any philosophical tonight or something?
You guys aren't feeling this sexual energy at all?
Well, while this is going on, Myetharia and Keth are kind of on the side, and he kind of leans closer, like, so that his mother won't hear.
Rob and I made the same face at the exact same time.
And he'll say, "So, what have you guys been doing? Where? Yeah, what's my mom been up to?"
Well, what has she told you?
Some, but it's just not as much as I'd like to know, I guess.
Well, we were requested to bring some information out of Gate Pass for the hope that it would end the war. We traveled down to Sequin and let's see. Trying to think about how detailed to get here. I mean, we had lots of things happen. It's been a little over 2 months now.
Yeah, I mean, so she had something important to do?
Yes. Yes, she's been
That's
very.
good.
She's been very helpful. She's valuable, in fact, to our mission. I think without her, all of us would likely at one point or other have died. But
That's good to hear. I'm glad that she's been helpful, at least.
of course, yes. And then we traveled from Sequin to Bresk, and then from Bresk to Gallo's Fend, and from Gallo's Fend to here. But
Real.
trying to stop the war all the way, but here it is, on our doorstep.
You know, I'd felt like I'd gone a long ways from home, and then I heard from her.
Yes, it was quite a surprise running into you here. I'm glad that she had the chance to see you.
Well,
Share some like smaller stories with him and such, but
sure.
nothing too detailed as to our mission and what it entailed. Some like moments to shine on Bryn, how
So to make her look
great
good.
deeds. Yeah. That'll make her look good.
Skelly boys in the dungeon.
Yeah, Skelly Boys in the dungeon.
I messaged Becca. She killed a guy with a horse.
Full caps. I was like, I'm not gonna share that. It like crosses her mind, just like that scene playing out. I'm like, yes, and then there was this one time where we
There
were
was this
fighting
horse.
these
No, never mind.
Skeletons. It's bright light. And fell
Well.
swoop, and she just killed them all.
As the night gets later, you guys kind of stay up, enjoying company once more. Is there anything else that you'd like to do tonight? Anything else you'd like to say?
Winry, after I performed for a little while, I came and sat down next. Did you have your headphones on?
No.
So I performed the first bit of the big epic performance, the big epic poem performance that I've been working on for a while. So I was trying things out. So afterwards, I take a bow and I come and sit next to you and I say, well, I think that went okay.
I think it was amazing. How
I
much
think
money
that's
did you
a
get?
bit-
At least 5,000 gold? Is that about right? To 100 gold?
30 Electrum, but I like where your head's at.
Electrum.
Mm-hmm.
Can I see
it's
one of
very-
those?
I turn around to hide where my coin purse is and then turn back with a few Electrum.
Hey.
Like
Did
this.
you give me one?
Yeah, sure.
I'll hold it up and look it over. I've never seen one of these before. Then I'll hand it back to you. You could probably make a living doing this. Is that what you want to do once we're all done with this adventuring business?
I used to think that I would become a really renowned and experienced diplomat. But other than that one time with the goblins and Sequin, my diplomacy skills haven't done us a whole lot of good. So I don't know if that's the direction I'm going anymore, and I haven't really considered anything beyond that.
Well, I know that this makes you happy. And you should do what makes you happy. The diplomacy stuff is useful sometimes, but it's just not very much fun.
I have fun doing it from time to time, and even if it doesn't have as much impact as I would hope, it's still something that I'm proud of and something that I enjoy doing. But you're right. I do
Definitely, you
enjoy
are
playing for people.
very good at it.
Thank you.
And you make other people happy performing too.
I do like that. And when people are listening to a performance, they're not going and fighting wars and stuff. So that's good.
Yeah, wars. I guess that's what we're about to go into.
Well, we have gone into some very sticky situations so far on our adventure, and we've come out on top most of the time.
And we're very ferocious.
Especially you. Maybe the most ferocious.
Thanks, Jack. I'll give him a bump on the arm.
I would say you're the most ferocious, but Rayland's in our group, so
Yeah, he's pretty scary.
yeah, it's like his whole thing. Like his whole thing. I think he reads books at night like that.
Ferocious books?
No, like he reads books ferociously.
No.
Like every person, every character's voice in the books just sounds like gruff and irritated. I think
But you
that's
meant-
just like his whole thing.
But even how he
Flipping the
flips the pages.
Oh.
Well, that's
Bam,
it.
bam.
I rip him out as I go.
Yeah.
No!
I've read this page. We're done here.
I'm gonna read that one again.
I get frustrated. The book is boring, and I like just chop it in half.
Throw it out the window. Even if Rayland is more ferocious, you are still incredibly brave, and you've won us a lot of victories. You're pretty amazing yourself, Winry.
Thanks. Sorry I left.
Well, I'm just glad that you have all of your ligaments intact and that they didn't shave off your hair, because a shaved cat is hilarious.
Well, they did a little bit, and then I'll show him my tattoo. I'm not sure. I don't know if the hair's gonna grow back right there.
Oh, because you guys were branded, right?
Yep, right on her left
Yeah.
wrist, shaped like a little X.
I'm not sure what the X means.
As she's showing me, I'm just gonna give it a shot. Sorry, my voice is really going.
Cute little crack.
It's not. I have a 4th level spell slot. I'm gonna do a 4th level healing word on her burn. Just like she's showing me, and I kind of take her paw and like move her fur away, pull up the diviner, and start playing like a really soothing song to do my best to heal her scar.
Okay, go ahead and roll the hit points.
Okay. How many hit points is it? Oh, it says right there. I'm just gonna roll it on here. No, I'm not. That's stupid. I never get to roll d4s. 7, 9, 11 plus 4, 15.
Perfect. As you're playing the music, you can watch as the scar, this brand, slowly just inches back together, sealing back up as new fur begins to grow back over the area where that the brand was on your wrist. And after a few moments of Jack's playing, it almost looks like you can't tell where it was if you didn't know where you were looking.
So I kind of wipe my hand across it, like trying to muss the fur around it and say, there, good as new.
It's gone.
I believe the fur will grow back soon. If not, maybe we'll try this again. Maybe I'll learn to spell like hair growth.
No, this is perfect. I know what happened to me wasn't nearly as terrible as Rayland, and this brand was just a reminder of the awful, dirty, bloody, terribleness of that prison. And you got rid of it, just like that. Thank you, Jack. And I'll hug him.
I'll hug her back and say, while we're hugging, I'll just say, I'm really sorry that you had to go through that, and I'm sorry I wasn't there with you, but I'm really proud of you for doing it and for coming back in one piece.
It was probably the best that I had the most ferocious member of our team with me. Oh, and I don't know, maybe he thinks it's like badass or something, but Do you think you might offer Rayland to do the same thing with his brand to remove it?
No.
Or I
No.
can ask for you? I know you guys aren't on the best of terms. Okay.
Maybe I'll offer. I think it probably goes along with his mystique,
Definitely.
but we'll see. I don't think he would appreciate me doing something like that, but it's still worth
Yeah,
the
he
offer.
probably doesn't want you to touch him.
There is that.
Well, healing word doesn't require touch. Healing touch requires touch.
Ah. That's free.
Yep, touch-free healing.
Just like, hold your hand up. I'll fix it from here.
I can
It's
stay
spell
30 feet
sniper.
away.
It's
Yeah.
spell sniper, and I can do it from like 120
Just
feet
do
away.
it to him when he isn't noticing.
Just wakes up one day. Where'd it go? No!
Mhm.
Cool tattoo!
My coolness.
It's like part of his morning routine. He like stretches, he puts a shirt on, he checks out his cool scar.
There's no response from Ryan to all of this.
He's checking his email.
Yep.
Well,
Is there-
I would like to spend more time talking with Winry, but I feel like we've used enough time. But it's good to talk to her and catch up and hopefully help her decompress a little bit more from the traumatic experience.
Is there anything else anyone would else like to do tonight?
One final thing, because a spell slot. So first, I explained to Keth at some point just how like spell slots work, and if I don't message him back, it's not because I was captured or dead. It just means I ran out of
Of
spell
course.
power for
Sure,
today.
sure.
It could
Mother's
mean
worry.
that, though.
Every mother's worry. Running out of spell slots.
I didn't ignore your call. My phone died.
Exactly.
Exactly.
But off to
Ran out
myself,
of
I would like
minutes.
to use ascending to message Ida to tell her where we're at, where Keth is at, and ask if she saw Brent before this fighting started. Because Keth said
Mhm.
that.
Yeah,
she
you get back a response that is basically largely glad to hear Keth is safe. They didn't know where he had ended up with the fighting, so happy that he did not fall into enemy hands. And then the end, you get just a yes, Brent is with us.
Okay. So I will, going up to Keth, I say, I just spoke with Ida, your aunt. Your aunt, you know she's your aunt. Shut up.
Who's Ida again?
Your dad made it safe to their house, and he's with them now.
It's good to hear, I guess. Hey, what happened with you two? Why?
That
I know you said something about the stars calling you away and all, but he was really mad and upset and hurt.
So, my son, I'm going to do something that I've learned from my friends here and be probably more mysterious than you want me to be. But I truly believe that it is a conversation that you should have with your dad first. I know that's hard to say in the situation that we're in with going to battle the next day, but
Not the next day, but yeah.
yeah. But out of respect for your dad, you should find that out from him.
Okay. Did What did the stars tell you? Was it that you were needed elsewhere then, or that you weren't needed with us?
I think a little bit of both. What certainly was the hardest decision of my life in leaving was made easier in seeing the strong, capable man you have become. We can't lie. You were practically running the farm, next to your uncle and your dad, and but in truth, the stars did call me away, and I explained to him my vision of sort of what I see and what I had saw with the empty sky and the 5 stars and how they lit up once I met up with the protectors of the past.
Yeah, you can kind of see it.
Trademark.
It placates him a little bit, but there's still a little bit of residual pain there.
Yeah.
Like, even though he kind of understands it mentally, he doesn't understand it in his chest.
I think the biggest thing in the end is that not one single part of me left to get away or be away from you. It has truly been the hardest part of me leaving home, is stepping away from you.
He kind of like blushes and wells up a little bit as you say it. And just kind of like leans his head over onto your shoulder a little bit. Says, you can be as old as you want, but there's something inside that still craves hearing that.
Whenever you need to hear it.
Just find a mage to cast Sending real quick.
Keep it in your heart. No, I've said it now, and I'll always say it again.
The rest of the evening passes then, as I don't think anyone else was going to say anything. And with a joyous reunion and with happier times with everyone, find a place to sleep. You can have a nice place provided for you by Lady Timor, as she is kind of putting you up for the night before you guys take her offer, it sounded like, to head back down the cliffs, back towards Gallo's lands.
To fly.
Quick
Fly, you
question.
fools.
Of course.
Is there any reason that we shouldn't try to get any more allies? We were told to specifically go see Timor and Dashkaban, but is there any reason we shouldn't go like to Rego quick, or is?
You could try to if you wanted to. You know that those were the most receptive, and those were also the ones that Steppengard pointed you, or Steppengard, that Gallo pointed you towards as being...
Another, I guess, as a part of that question, we know that Gallo's army is a certain amount of time out. We don't have like we don't have the exact amount of time, but do we have a rough estimate when the army will arrive at Gallo's?
You have a rough estimate, I think he can give you, which was, you've got probably another somewhere between 3 and 6 days.
3 and 6 days right now. Okay. And
So in all likelihood, we probably wouldn't be able to mass Iz or Rego in time to get there.
There's also the side of they need to then march their army over there too, which is a time-consuming process.
I know. So I was wondering if we could even get them there in time, but there's a chance.
Well, Rego is not as favorable because they don't. Oh no.
No, Rego was not favorable, and Iz was on the fence, if I remember right.
Yeah,
Iz and Den were the two that were more on the fence.
Yeah.
We could ask Lady Naman if she has an opinion of if we should go to someone who we should go to.
Lady
She-
Naman?
she knows.
I think if we're going to anybody,
Sorry.
it's it.
Wow.
If we're going
You know who's on my brain?
Timor. I think if we go to
ask
anybody,
Lady
it's
Timor,
Iz.
sorry.
Because Iz closer. Den is too far away. Iz might actually be close enough that we could get there and still march an army back in time. Do we know where Iz's castle or stronghold is?
I want to make sure you're on the map. Yes, you are. Okay. So it would be a little ways. His place is more down by his name down here. And the biggest problem that you're going to have is there's really one way down these mountains. Like, this is a big set of mountains, especially for moving a mass amount of troops. There's really just a way up here to get down from the top in a large format. Otherwise, you'd have to go around the bottom side instead. So your only real option is to march right past Timor's keep through her lands in order to get there, and then along the river the rest of the way, like that kind of thing.
Yeah,
And as you can see, with the distance here being like 150 miles, give or take, that's probably somewhere between or north of or around 5 days at the very least of a very fast march.
And then a bunch
Is
of
it worth setting out some messages?
So it's like 24. So 24 miles per day is how fast an average medieval army. Yeah, they're not getting there. They're not getting there in like under 6 days.
The majority of it'd take like a week almost.
Yeah.
It's also still heavy winter, so they'd be walking through snow and ice.
Yeah,
and
good point. Okay, you know what? I think let's head back. Let's head back to Gallo and mount the defense with them.
If it wasn't so far, then I'd say yes, but yeah, that's unfortunate.
If you would have brought this up with the group, then Jack would have said something to the effect of, "This is what Gallo told us to do. I think we should get back to him and get our next orders. He's a military-minded man, and I trust his opinion." Not to say that I don't trust yours, Rayland.
I didn't do it in character, but I imagine I would have. I don't know if I would have brought it up. I'm not the diplomat, so this is like.
Don't worry about it.
I'm not the strateger. I'm not the strategist. I'm the poke. I poke him with the sharp end.
Poke him with the pointy end. Stick him with the pointy end.
Well, in the morning, the army starts forming up as Timor's group begins to collect themselves and begin the long process of heading down and around the Glassfield Cliffs and into Gallo's lands. While they're doing so, a handful of mages escort you guys back to the edge of the cliffs, and they kind of give a fly well, so to speak, a nice nod of respect as they cast fly on you guys, which lasts more than long enough for you guys to float and drift and fly aggressively, whatever you want to do, your way back to the bottom of the cliffs, back where you guys had previously come up from.
Nice.
I'll do a barrel roll.
Perfect.
Of course,
From
naturally.
there for you guys, because you don't have to march around anywhere, it is about a day's travel from there back to Gallo's Fend. Maybe we'll say the majority of the day, at least, for you guys to head back towards Gallo's Fend. And as becoming afternoon, kind of evening time, you can find yourself back there once more among a starting to become familiar city or defensive city here.
At least for 3 of us.
Right.
I guess that's true. A couple of you haven't really been inside much. As you arrive,
I'm
he
like,
kind of
Winry, you have to meet this girl named Clara. She's so cool. No, I'm just kidding. I don't say that.
as you guys kind of arrive,
No.
Lord Gallo kind of summons you guys once more, calls you into his audience or his war room, so to speak. Says, "Well, I've heard from both Lady Timor and from Lord Dashkaban that they are both sending reinforcements to us. For that, you have my sincere gratitude."
We are just pleased that we were able to put our abilities to good use.
Well, believe that there will be more for you to do in the future, but I have had word. It is now the 11th, as it turns out. I have word that in 4 days, that's what my scouts are reporting, Steppengard's army will be upon us. Maybe the evening of the 3rd. So, until then, you have a few days to rest, recover, and come up with plans.
Aren't you wondering who I and this fellow, how we came together?
You guys talked with him before you
Oh,
guys
did we?
left
That's true,
on
we
this
did. We
journey.
went back.
We went back
Oh,
inside,
really?
remember? We forgot. We forgot
You asked him
something.
a few questions last time.
Is there any place in this battle where you would see fit to use us, or that we would be most helpful?
I see you, if you would have it, as somewhere between a strike force and a battalion. I might have need of you for both of these things. If you'd have the opportunity, I have some ideas of things that we may be able to pull off with your assistance. But at the end of the day, we will probably need as many men as we can to form the line.
If it's possible, can we all stay together? I feel like we
Yes.
work really well together.
Exactly. I actually agree with you completely, and I was planning on implementing you as a group together.
Justin says, no more split party.
This is going to come with a very minor amount of spoilers here, because I'm going to pull you guys over to a map.
Look.
As he kind of pulls up this
Whoa.
area map of the region around Gallo's Fend. And he kind of says, "This is where we believe the battle will take place, in the Authoril Vale, down below the city. As you can see here, we have Wicked Hill, which is known for its redoubts and defensive structures. I don't believe that they will attack that direction.
Also,
have
no
the
wicked.
We also have the Markhold, which holds the last bastion there along the river to prevent anyone from coming up that direction as well. I believe their plan of a general attack will be to form camps at a distance far enough away that they will not be able to be hit by our siege weaponry in defense. And from there, they will make an attack, an assault. My personal assumption, and that of my assistants here, as I try to find the measuring tape that I, for some reason, can't find right now. Oh, I made it tiny. Great. How did I
Yeah,
do that?
sometimes it collapses. I don't know how to fix that either.
Brilliant. My general thought is that they'll camp out somewhere around here on the outside, and then they will be making their way mainly through the Vale, perhaps around it. I doubt they go through the woods. That would leave them exposed, but they may also have some ability to do that as well. Whether if we will wage the majority of the battle here amongst here. My general plan is to have a line between Wicked Hill and Markhold to hold this ground. This will be our defensive line. Any questions about it so far?
What's in Wicked Hill?
What do you mean?
Is it called Wicked Hill?
It's wicked for what it does to those who attempt to attack it.
So we won't
All
have to
of-
defend it then.
No. All of these forts, redoubts.
Oh.
Makes it very difficult to assault, especially as it is on a hill, as it is named, making it fairly open season for shooting those who would try to attack it.
That mean he was cursed.
And
Then it'd be Cursed Hill, Winry.
Oh, right.
He's got a point.
and what about the Aldai Gap? Is that secure? You haven't lost any more strongholds along the gap?
Oh, the Alidi Gap.
Alidi Gap.
Yeah,
sorry.
they spelled wrong on this map, humorously enough. I don't know why.
Those map makers.
It's the Aldi.
Aldi Gap.
So far, there's been no concern from my outposts along there. They are on a more attentive schedule currently to make sure that nothing is going on, but they have yet to hear of any reprise in the assault.
Fortunate for Regacia to make a move at the same time you have Steppengard on your doorstep.
Would be. Well, we can only hope that they stick to the plans that you intercepted. To wait, see how this pans out before breaking the winter. I guess we will know if the winter over the gap ceases.
At least
that
you're Yeah. At least your defenses over the Adelaide Gap are stronger. Should stand up to the Regacian army.
They will give us time at the very least. Plus the gap itself is not meant to be held. It's meant to be held at the choke points here. See, it empties out near this river here. There's embankments all along the north side of the castle that make this a veritable killing field as you go along the entire length of the river.
At the top part of that, is the river lower than the keep?
Yep. Plus 200 feet up.
Okay.
200 feet of
I
cliffs.
didn't know if it was on that side as well.
Yep. So it is well up over top, and so it gets this great angle to look down on anyone who's going through that section.
And what, with forming that line, Lord Gallo, what would you expect us to do?
Well, I will not know for sure until they are here, but I hope to have a couple of jobs for you, as well as potentially your own section of the line to hold.
Jack goes a little pale.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, we can do that, right, Bryn? We can do that.
That is our name.
It will not just be
After all.
you. You will have some of my soldiers with you. But they will be under your control as much as you will be able to do it. Who should I tell them is their leader? Who will lead the forces?
Rayland? Myetharia?
I think Myetharia has the most military experience.
Yeah, Myetharia might be your choice here.
I will lead them.
I will let them know. They are to report to you. They'll be under your control.
Does that make her general?
Not officially.
General
Acting
Myetharia.
I'm not
Captain.
sure I like that title.
Captain.
I could more place you in line with a sergeant, but maybe a
Sergeant.
lieutenant.
Sarge. We could call you Sarge.
Just kind of give him a look of like, really?
Aunt Sarge.
Oh dear.
Sorry, I haven't brought that one around in a while.
Sarge Ant.
No, you haven't.
Ha, ha.
Oh,
Dang, I
that
missed
hurt.
that one by a mile.
That hurts.
Man.
Jack, is Myetharia your aunt?
No,
Not
but
really, right?
I occasionally call
No.
her that because she hates it, and also because she's older than me.
By like 500 years? No, 50 years?
500.
Good
500
gracious, I'm tired.
years?
My gracious, 50 years?
Grandmother.
Myetharia is actually a deity in this campaign.
Hey!
Spoilers.
700-year-old elves here? Come on.
Well, I'm sure we'll get more into the details as the actual. Is that too loud?
No, Matt used this a lot in campaign 1 of Critical Role.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
This is called The Pyre by Kevin MacLeod.
Kevin MacLeod?
Yeah, there's a whole bunch of
Wow.
stuff from him that's free use.
Kevin MacLeod has some, like, Kevin MacLeod did a lot of the SpongeBob albums. Like, a lot of the
Really?
SpongeBob
What?
soundtracks. Yeah.
There's SpongeBob
Wow.
album?
Or SpongeBob, you'll be surprised
like
that a lot
in
of
the movies.
in the shows, a lot of the cues are production music, and Kevin MacLeod is kind of like a big production music guy, which makes sense, I guess, that he's doing like action cues as well as he just does everything. He's like a professional composer. That's what they do. But yeah, Kevin MacLeod is like a pretty big like meme song guy. There's a song called "Gay Activity," which is a big.
Did you share that one with us once?
Yeah, I probably did. I really love Kevin MacLeod, or at least I like his goofy shit.
This is not that. This is hard.
This brings back lots of memories.
Well,
Gay Activity is Clyde Richardson. Sorry, but he did Moving Forward, and I've shared that one with you.
Well, since we have 3 days, does that mean we can buckle down and work on our feats the whole 3 days?
I was actually going to let you guys get one more roll in before we
That
get to.
rocks.
Within
now?
3 days, could I?
Well, it depends.
get-
Is there anything else that you guys would like to do over the next 3 days?
within
Oh,
that 3
goodness.
days, realistically, could I get that armor made?
No, they are too busy.
No.
For your information,
But she's so important.
right? They're making it's called cheval de frise, the little like stake things that you guys might see back in medieval warfare.
They need a lot of those.
If you know what those are. And they're using those to start setting up things for like embankments and places for archers to be. So there's a lot of work that's being done in preparation, defensive preparation for this. And so blacksmiths are busy making arrowheads, making swords, making basically anything that they can, like plows into swords, in order to get as many people armed as they can in this time.
Anybody you ask, they just give you a weird look. They go back to work, just like, huh? No.
Yes, it's like, add it to the backlog.
Right.
No.
No, there's nothing Jack wants to do. I would actually put a lot of effort into trying to get my feat done because I know how useful it would be in this upcoming battle.
Ditto.
Yeah, for real.
Sterling is going to find Myetharia at some point.
Ha ha ho.
Oh no.
Probably the second night
Oh,
in.
it's been steamy.
And he's gonna say, "Oh, I'd heard you're back, but it's just been crazy. I haven't been able to see you yet, but I wanted to catch you. I'm glad I found you. I hear you're a sergeant now." That's what I call it.
That. I don't know if you'd call it sergeant. I'm in charge of a very small group, and
So-
most of them are protectors of the past.
I need to step in here. She is outside of the traditional command structure.
Oh well, all
I
the
don't know about that.
well, I've got a buddy who apparently is going to be under your command, and he was saying everybody calls you Sarge. So, sorry, I didn't know that. I'll tell them to stop.
Oh,
It was me. I went straight to Sterling and I was like, call her Sarge. Call her Sarge. She loves it.
Well, anyway, I just wanted to say, with the enemy at our doorstep, now seemed like as good a time as any to ask, could I kiss you?
Like,
Cassie.
What did Cassie do?
The perfect chip eating moment.
she won't answer. She'll just kiss him.
Yes. Yes.
Oh.
Okay. I don't wanna RP any more of that, but Sterling is beaming, and yeah, he's gonna be very happy about it and
there
say,
is his end.
what?
Winry stealth. Winry stealth.
There's his end. Nowhere near you.
And next we see Sterling. It is as a corpse
Oh.
on the side.
Wait, Clara killed. Wait,
No.
Clara?
No.
No.
Oh, no.
I'm
On
talking
the
about after the
battlefield.
battle.
Oh. Well, I mean,
In a
who
movie that
knows?
is exactly
Who knows
how
what's
it
gonna happen to
play
Sterling? But that's, I mean, hey, he'll probably say that. It's like, who knows? We're gonna be a battle. Like, this is like, we have to live our lives. We have to live our lives right now, and we have to live them to the fullest. But anyway, I'm not gonna go through. I don't think he'll say anything like that.
It
That's
sounds
a-
like he's swinging more for a kiss with that line.
Well, listen, I'm not gonna go role playing all of this right now.
Yeah. We just
But I'm just assuming.
We just cut to Sterling smoking a cigarette later on.
Yeah, we
No,
need
no.
a different role-playing system to handle this sort of encounter.
Okay, listen,
Yeah,
I'm sorry. I'm so sorry, Becca. I'm so sorry.
No,
I feel like I did spring this on you. I apologize. But anyway,
No, I was kind of expecting it, honestly. Let's coming
Yes.
back to the Fend.
they're a great match. Sterling and Myetharia.
Agree.
Anyway, so yeah, but that's happening, and yeah, we'll go and do whatever everybody else is doing.
Is there anything that anyone would like to do in preparation over the next few days besides going through our feats?
Beats.
Yeah, so Rayland and Myetharia will be doing some like sparring and other things like that. Actually, that's probably what we mostly be doing. And honestly, if the troops are reporting to her, then we should probably do a little bit of what we did with Kath and just like some training. Why not?
See where they're at, and
Some drills. Yeah. I'll be her like assistant. I don't know.
Oh, 100%.
Assistant Sarge.
Assistant. I'm assistant Sarge. A Sarge. It's that's assistant to the Sarge.
To the sergeant, yeah.
To the
Exactly.
sergeant.
I think I described it when I first started rolling for this feat, but how I'm working on it is augmenting my diviner. And so like I want to ask for like a workshop, like a mage's workshop, and be able to just like spend any spare time that I have working on getting this augmentation to work. Just like adding things, like trying them out and reading and, you know, doing some arcane math, trying something else, new alloys, things like this.
Hey, was it Gallo who gave us that promissory note for 2,000 gold?
He did.
Did he want that back?
Nope, that was
Yeah,
for
a
you
lot
guys
of
to
money.
spend if you wanted.
Oh,
We should probably load up on some potions.
Oh.
Too.
Well, I have it in
Yeah.
mind. And thank you.
I have it in mind. No.
oh, she needs to give it to you.
Great. Yeah,
Give
getting
it to
some.
me.
While Jack is doing all that business in his shop, I'm gonna like occasionally come by and like sit on the table and swing my legs. So what you working on? Be really helpful because I know what I'm doing in my feet is not so helpful in the battle. But then I will occasionally practice my investigation skills, and I'm going to try to investigate my friends by sneaking into their rooms.
Oh, okay. What are you trying to look for?
I was waiting for this.
I don't know, like letters, I guess, like personal letters.
So I am not going to answer these questions for you guys. But why don't we have Winry, you roll a general stealth check here, and we'll see how successful you are at least at getting into each of their rooms.
Uh, 24.
Damn it.
Pretty good.
Oh, boy.
Mine would
If
probably
anyone
be
would like to, you can roll a perception check. See if you can beat 24.
Honestly, if I even suspected that Winry was doing that, I wouldn't try to stop her.
I don't think I could even get there.
I got 23.
Oh,
I can get a 24. I just didn't roll well enough.
So, how do we want to do this?
we should probably give her something as juicy as we can.
Up to you guys. So I can make her roll something if you wanted for each of you to get like the
Investigation.
general, level of dirt if you would like to. But it is entirely on you guys.
My
I'm not
investigation isn't very good right now.
it is entirely on you guys what you do or don't want to give her.
Which is why I was working on it.
So I'll give something. So I've been keeping a journal of everything that we do. I was gonna say in Hadin's book of sketches, but then I'd be drawing over sketches. I imagine I have a book somewhere on me.
Sure, no
taking
problem.
Notes. And if Winry flips through, she's gonna see in a couple spots there's like tally marks on the corner of the pages, just in a few pages. Total of 8 tally marks.
And there's no indication of what those tally marks mean.
Does it count upwards each time, or is it like
Yes.
one here and then one here, or is it one here and then
No,
two
so
and
it's
then
like
3
1,
and 4?
yep, and then like
Okay.
4 pages later, it's like 3, and then it continues up.
Make an intelligence check.
Yeah, I think that's fair.
Me?
Yep.
Oh. 18.
Wow.
Dang, girl.
Nice job.
Carol, 19. Intelligence not so good.
I'll say on each, with that roll, because that's a really high roll, especially for Winry, I would say on each page that you see these tally marks, based on what I'm writing in the journal, I would have been writing about fights that we were in, combats that we were in. And I would have written maybe in the margin near the tally mark, like 1 Sela, 1 fish person, 2 orcs. But what might tip you off the best about it is way back in the fire forest, it says 1 Gwenvir. That's the juiciest I come up with. What's your juice?
I got good juice.
That's
Oh. Wow. This is
Okay.
Oh my goodness! This is like so
As
Winry.
soon as it left my lips, I was like, I hate every part of me that said that.
Oh no, I feel bad.
Oh,
I told
no.
you there's sexual energy in this episode.
Jeez.
So
You're
going-
creating it, Rob. In your
going
mind.
through, yeah, really, you're just
I'm
digging
in
for
a
it.
weird mood tonight.
Um,
It's exhaustion, I think.
going through.
Shut up, Justin. I'm not like this every night. You made a face.
My face was also partly, man, that's a cold wind still coming through this window. I need to shut that.
Smells
Real
good.
cold.
Not everything's about
Alright,
you,
I'll
Rob.
leave it
I'm
open.
far away though, so it's
All right.
okay if you're too cold. You can shut it.
Anyway, sorry to interrupt. Bryn,
It's
What
okay.
does
Going
Winry
through my
find?
bag, you find a really, 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 really old drawing of a younger Bryn. What, since now you have met Keth, you can tell is a younger Keth, and a human man sitting in like a family portrait pose, and it's really, really old, crinkled, and there are lots and lots of tear spots across the page.
Ooh.
Not necessarily recent, but some old that you can tell. And
Correct.
but
I
it
will
may have
carefully
been more,
put that one back.
may have been more recently to the top of the backpack, just because of seeing Keth more recently.
Just
Dylan,
because
wanna
you
go
said
over?
it, Cassie, do you keep my journal?
No.
Okay.
I put it back, but not as carefully as Bryn, because hers is, I don't know.
Sure.
Sad.
That equals gentle.
Yes.
Unless you're
Winry
trying to
doesn't
say that equals
keep.
rage.
No, Winry doesn't keep. Winry learns and puts back.
Her MO. Myetharia, you're the next one going down.
Do you want me to keep rolling investigation checks?
That's up to them.
You probably don't need to for me because she has a very small pack. You've known her long enough that you'll know that she's very minimalistic. She doesn't keep very many things. But she does write in a journal every night when she starts her watch, and you would know that. And it would be easy enough to find because she has very few items in her pack. And like I won't go into too much detail, but I'll at least read the front page because it is an introduction. Oh boy. And it reads, "If I am to die, this book is to be given to my mother, Elithvana Fay Warren, who resides in the court of Kalanis. If she is no longer among the living, please deliver it to Lady Shalosha. It is my hope that it will be enlightening to her, or at the very least, entertaining." And it is signed Myetharia Solani Fay Warren. And it is also a journal of their travels, probably far less detailed than Jack's. Far less detailed. But it just reads from her point of view the things that have occurred since Gate Pass. I could probably send Winry more details if she wants, but like I don't know. I guess roll to see if there's any juicy bits you find in it.
Yeah, she's just wondering what you write about
She's looking for themes.
Sterling.
About Sterling.
Oh,
Yes.
It was a roll between show and stress and
I haven't
Sterling.
read this
it's a whole page
I
of
am
just like
writing it,
hunka,
but I
hunka,
haven't
hunka.
Man, I love it.
Oh, good gosh. Well, what day is this on? Is this the day before?
I don't know. After or before the kiss?
After or before?
We'll say it's after. Who knows?
For more fun.
We're looking for juice here.
She's probably kind of disappointed in what she finds. Because you'll probably go to like the last few pages, and
Sorry, Ryan's face got me really good there.
You should be watching Ryan. I'm not watching.
No, go ahead. Do your thing.
All right. She's probably disappointed because she has probably high hopes or high expectations. But Myetharia, I would guess, didn't write too much on the topic. She would, explain that, Sterling had approached her, and she would refer to Sterling as sweet and all, but perhaps she'd probably be a little dismissive and blasé about it all, honestly. So she's,
It'd be a good time.
she's not looking for a relationship. You'll probably be able to tell she's not looking for a relationship.
Yes,
maybe. He's very sweet and boy,
Lighthearted fun.
Yeah.
He's got sweet pecs.
She does not
That's what
mention
you
his
want.
muscles at all. I hate
She does not mention his muscles?
muscles.
It's
I mean,
not
she
about
might,
the muscles, apparently.
yes, because that's
It's
what
about
Myetharia writes in her diary every night. Is talking
about-
about the details of Sterling's body and all
It's
of
about
his
his prowess.
He does have an ample butt.
It's about his prowess on the battlefield.
She hasn't seen that yet.
I have not.
Yeah, she
She
has.
did one
Oh,
time.
Well, I mean,
Yes, she has.
Which
That's true,
battlefield?
that's true.
Winry doesn't know.
Wait a second,
But
though.
Winry wasn't looking for that. She wasn't looking for that page.
Go on, Justin.
Fine. She won't look at that page.
Sure. All right. Well, that's enough of embarrassing Becca for the moment. Rayland.
I
If
think we
you-
should do a little more, but
I will say, Winry would probably notice that the journal, it's not really a diary, the journal starts off far more organized, very nice, neat lines and collected paragraphs organized, very straightforward. Then after a while, it does start to get a little more messy and a little more chaotic. Not like slanting off the page, crazy maniac, psycho vibes or anything like that. Not 5 words on one page, big scrawl, nothing crazy like that. But
House of Leaves. Did anybody read that book?
blood splatters.
Yeah.
I didn't hear what you said. What'd you say?
House of Leaves style.
Mm-mm.
Yeah, no, it's all right then. It's a good book, but
Niche. But I mean, it does get a little more chaotic and less organized after some time.
Perfect. Well, we'll move on to the last one then. Rayland.
yeah, I think Winry's probably already seen a lot of the stuff that
That's true.
Rayland might have. So for example, she'll find like a small pouch with like feathers in it. Or how big are the feathers again? Maybe it's like contained like by string, tied together by string, like a small amount of string.
The qualls
leather.
feathers?
Feathers, like large feathers.
You said the feathers, though. Are you talking about the feather tokens?
Like they're bloody feathers.
Feathers from the thing that we
know if everyone knows this or if this is just a Rayland Winry thing.
Well, then this will be a fun one for everybody because Winry finds like some bloody feathers, and you got to tell me how big they are because I don't remember. A note that says "I'm sorry" from Riven.
Yeah.
Right, Justin? I should have been looking this up myself, but
I do remember the feathers. You found them in the room. That's right.
Yeah. So
yeah,
there's
the
a feather.
treasure room.
It wasn't a torture. It wasn't a torture.
No, it
room.
was in Ming's place.
Yeah,
Oh, right.
in the basement of Ming's
Yeah, so
shop
they were
around the
grown
tanks.
out looking feathers. They were they had a little bit of blood around the bases of them, but nothing overly exceptional. They looked like they were molted.
Yeah. Rayland doesn't keep a journal. She'll find like, I don't know, some darts that he likes to play with. Some of his like nice darts. Probably the beginning of his new woodworking project. I think it's going to be a like person. Right now it looks like it's in the shape of the Vesuvian man. So, but it's like it would be fuzzy because he hasn't put any detail into it yet. But it's like arms stretched out and its legs stretched out, and then it's sitting on a base, so it's going to stand upright. But I don't know what it's going to be yet. So, also in there, if she gets in there deep enough, she'll find a folded up painting of a pastoral scene.
Oh yeah.
One of, I guess, I don't remember if it was described, so I'll describe it now. There's some deer at the edge of the babbling brook. In the background, there's some mountains and happy little trees.
I was gonna say, are there happy trees? Tell me there's happy trees.
It's a very calming picture. But unfortunately, it's kind of folded up and stuff, and it is probably starting to wear a little bit because it's been well traveled.
Yeah, probably not worth much at this point in time, but sentimentality.
So
that was Hadin's, right?
Yeah, Hadin's from Hadin's wall. Mm-hmm. The feathers, by the way, there's some like small molts, and then there's a foot long, like a couple foot long feathers.
I think Justin shared it with all of us.
Yeah, I put that in the full group chat, but it's still good of you to recap
for the audience.
For the audience, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I believe that's it. That you'll find of interesting things that Rayland's holding on to. Other than that, it's like full of daggers.
I will smile about him keeping the stuff and then head on.
Perfect.
Dang, that was good, Cassie.
That was like a game, except for not in a game, guys.
Except we didn't get to choose how to play it.
Actually, yeah, I liked that. I liked that as like a
game event.
Yeah.
Worst game you will play. And you will
you've been MVP of character reveals, forcing us to not sit on our backstories.
Yeah.
Sorry for taking so much time.
No, don't. You're filling time for me. It's great. Well, as we start to approach as we start to approach the evening of the 15th of Oscary, you start to feel, not just know, like you've been hearing reports and from spies, I guess I'd call them, or like advising of this oncoming army. But on the evening of the 15th, just before sun starts setting, you guys in the city can start to kind of feel it, even feel the ground every now and then as a huge thump of steps comes through, and from that ominous feeling in the pit of your stomach that you knew was coming this entire time, that the army of Steppengard is arriving at Gallo's Fend. Before we get to that, I'd like each of you to go ahead and make your rolls for your feats. So,
can I jump in really quick and just say I'm asking if I can do this, but I'm just going to do it. With the feeling and the tension of the oncoming army, it reminds Jack at least of the evening at Gate Pass, and is both like intimidating because that was a horrible night, but also like invigorating because we're almost getting a second shot at doing this the right way instead of running necessarily. That's it.
What do we add? Wisdom? Yeah.
For you, wisdom.
What?
Go in.
I guess we're gonna focus on Myetharia and Rayland's.
I can do one.
Which I don't quite remember what it was anymore that we're working towards, but I guess we're working towards it.
I can look it up. I know that we had it in chat somewhere, but
was it dexterity, Justin?
Yes, you can go ahead and roll with dexterity. You guys both can. It's just your main attack feats.
I had intelligence, right, Justin?
For yours, yeah, intelligence is good.
Nice, Ryan. Nice.
Nice. That's what. I rolled a 20 total.
Very nice.
I got a 23.
Ooh, well, good news,
guys.
Bryn.
Yes.
Oh, I didn't make it.
You didn't finish yours, Jack. No, sorry. Yours is more involved than anything else so far. But,
17 for me.
All right, hold on. Let me write this complete here next to Bryn's. We'll get to you in a second. Myetharia, 23, you said?
Oh, 17.
17.
think
Did you want to
somebody
work
else was
on?
thinking.
Did you want to work on your disengage portion, or do you want to work on the coordination together with Rayland?
Am I allowed to know which one is closer?
I mean, the disengage piece is a slightly
Roll.
less difficult thing.
From a roleplay standpoint, I think we're going to be working together a lot with our troops and together.
Well,
So
I was gonna say that well, I mean, that doesn't mean too much because what I am learning is helpful to do with multiple people. So, I mean,
I will say you won't learn either of them this round anyway.
Yeah.
You won't complete either of them.
I'll dedicate it to the group one, to the two of us.
Okay.
I don't think I've put too much to that one yet.
Rayland, what do you have?
18. It's just dexterity, right? +3.
Yep. So I had to do mental math there for a second.
Yeah, so
you guys
18.
are making good progress. You're about 2/3 of the way through your coordination feat now.
I thought mine would be so much longer. I feel like I rolled really bad on it, but apparently I didn't.
And then Winry.
5.
Oh, you haven't made it yet.
Oh no!
Oh,
Sorry.
You had a chance to finish yours up, but unfortunately,
bad roll.
couldn't get it done. Well, as the army begins to arrive in kind of the afternoon, evening time frame, Gallo sends a page to you guys and calls for you to report to the keep so that you can lay out more of his plans for you. As you arrive, you find that he has the map that I'd shown you guys kind of laid out across a table, and there are some figures here and there scattered around it for various groups, various platoons. That's not really the word I want to have, but for the various locations of armies, of groups of soldiers. And while he's talking this over with some of his captains and his commanders, you guys approach and kind of gives a nod to his commanders, moves over, starts beginning to discuss with you. He says, well, the main portion of my plans are to hold the line at Authoril Vale. There are some other missions that could make a major difference in the battle. Now, you do not have to participate in all of these missions, or indeed with any of them. And I will say, if you are having difficulties with stealth, you may be ill-suited for some of them as well. But I will ask that you participate in whatever missions you feel you are suited for. There are two things that we could attempt tonight that could have major benefits upon the battle, which I perceive to begin in the morning. The first would be the chance to destroy siege equipment. This would require you to get behind enemy lines, into the siege equipment, and burn it to the ground as much as you can before being overwhelmed, and then escape before you are captured. Alternatively, we have word that War Mage Kelkin Thravenvost is amongst the attackers.
Fuck.
We've also heard word that he is tenting on his own, slightly away from the army. There is the opportunity, should you choose to take it, to launch an assassination instead.
Oh.
Well, or a kidnapping, or one way or the other. Taking Master Thravenvost out from the battle, as removing his magic and his stock of magical supplies go a long ways towards our war effort.
He's the guy that me and Rayland tried to find, right?
Mm-hmm.
In the forest.
He is.
Sphinx, yeah.
Yep, he's also
Yeah.
the guy you
I
guys
was
saw in
gonna-
the past with the Sphinx.
Well, do any of us have any experience fighting sphinxes? I didn't think so.
I hate to say it, but one way or the other, the Sphinx will likely find its way to the battlefield. Whether it's flying above, casting destructive magic upon our lines, or in a more close encounter, trying to neutralize the threat before it begins for our line.
I don't have experience with sphinxes, but I do have experience with wyverns.
Fair point.
Oh, Rayland, you weren't there. I turned into a gorilla and killed a wyvern.
A gorilla?
I figured we'd shared our entire escapade with them.
Probably, yeah.
A giant ape, technically, but yes.
I love how
But-
you said Rayland.
But we all know
Rayland, look at
Jack.
this cool thing I did.
We all know Jack would take every opportunity to remind Rayland about how he turned into a gorilla and killed a wife. Yeah.
Probably.
So Rayland rolls his eyes.
Before you
Well,
take either of these
um,
options, what I can say is we can provide some help. We have uniforms matching the livery of various nobles, including Steppengard, Is, Megadon, or Namen, your choice if you would so choose, that would get you some access, potentially, or at least a little bit of help in that regard. I should also mention that the army was delayed. This is mostly for you, Jack. Due to the slowness of certain nobles in committing their troops. It is, in fact, slightly less than we might have feared it could have been, as some were very slow to commit.
That is encouraging to hear.
But we can provide that. We can also provide you with a small amount of intelligence. We know that there are groups who camp out by the siege engines. At least this is traditional Desceni structure. And that it would take them a little bit of time before reinforcements would be able to arrive. It would give you some time to do what you needed to do. The downside is, we know that the entire area of the camp is slowly patrolled through an erratic flight path by a red dragon wormling called Nikua. This is one of the king's prized possessions.
Did you say red dragon wormling?
Yes, I did. It is not a fully fledged dragon, think the light, but it is big enough to be a danger.
What was its name one more time?
Nikuar. I will paste it for you.
Okay. Okay.
For the mage, what we can say is we know that he sleeps, or he will sleep, in a tent by himself. We can see it through our spyglasses, being set up as it is. It's a little bit away from the rest of Steppengard's camp, a little bit more forward. We know that he sleeps with a small amount of guards, but he does sleep with his Sphinx outside his tent. Nishara is the biggest danger here in terms of being able to approach stealthily. As I said, neither of these opportunities need be taken. Both could, if you are feeling particularly ambitious. But we wish to give you the opportunity before the mass battle begins to make any impact that you may have tonight yet. This way you will still have a long rest, be able to recuperate, before the morning comes and true war is upon us.
Well, does anyone have any opinions?
Yes. I think we should go after Thravenvost. His magical abilities, along with his Sphinx, could potentially turn the tide against us. And what's more, the army would likely hold a lot of faith in his abilities. Losing him would be a mighty blow to their morale.
Ravenvost certainly seems like the highest reward, but also the highest risk option for us.
I agree.
It's not like we're unfamiliar with high risk, high reward. Winry?
They both
we
have
have-
a stealthy element to them.
Do.
Certainly could.
One perhaps a little more than the other.
That is another thought that I had. I don't think Bryn and I should be sneaking behind enemy lines.
I can.
I don't think we should do it, Bryn. I
agree.
I understand you have ideas, but I just think we should probably stay away from it.
Can you listen to Bryn's ideas, please, Jack?
Sorry.
It's the same one we've always had. I can make one of us invisible, but it's only for a minute.
Mm-hmm.
But we're still kind of loud.
That has not worked well for us in the
It
past.
has not.
Might go so far as to say it has not worked at all in the past.
How far
Did I? You had said the Sphinx makes it difficult. Does the Sphinx have true sight, or
Oh,
do we know if the
Like a
the
dragon?
Sphinx can see invisible things?
You can make either a nature or arcana check if you'd like.
Assuming that
Every-
Rayland asks that out loud, can I roll as well?
Sure.
How far away from Steppengard's camp is Thravenvost camping?
Ooh,
Thravenvost?
Yeah, how far away is he from the others?
Ooh.
At the edge of the main camp.
You rolled higher than me, Rayland.
I know it says it on here. I'm just looking for the right answer for you.
Okay.
I know how I'm gonna RP it if I know.
What'd you guys roll while I look for this answer for you?
20.
14.
19 Arcana.
Okay. I would say that both Jack and Rayland would be able to tell you that sphinxes traditionally do have true sight, and it's out to a reasonable distance.
No, invisible.
invisibility's out.
Yeah.
I could probably still sneak it.
Myetharia, as for distance, rough estimates would tell you they probably have a mounted group that could get to that area within a minute, give or take, maybe a couple of minutes.
Okay.
More reinforcements would be on the way after that point. That would be more general foot soldiers, this sort of thing that might take a little bit longer, maybe 5 to 10 minute range to get there.
Makes sense. Okay, so it's decently far from, give or take.
Yeah, it'd be like a half mile,
Yeah.
maybe, as a rough estimate for you.
Yeah, no, that makes sense. That makes sense. All right.
ping on the map where like the siege engines would be and where Thravenvost would be?
Sure. Thravenvost would be kind of up in this kind of general area, kind of a little bit away from the camp, maybe up in the woods a little bit more, somewhere in that kind of general vicinity, up and above. The siege engines themselves are being lined up along the open vale. They're being built and set up in this general area. So they have guard battalions that are being set up to protect them. Each siege engine would have its own guard battalion, but they are significantly further away from reinforcements. Or at least, yeah, similar distance from reinforcements, so to speak. It might be a couple of minutes for the first wave of mounted soldiers that might get there. It'd be longer for the foot soldiers to get there.
If we had a ranger in our party, this would be an easy choice. Just go straight through the woods. I do have ranged fire.
But what I can say, for the last couple of things here, Gallo can tell you that the army is commanded by Königsmarschall Malkin, is his name. It has a little bit of a German feel to it, by the way, with the naming structure. And he can also tell you that it is under the supervision of advisor Nina Glibglammer, who is also with Malkin, Königsmarschall Malkin, in the center of camp, has been reported as a sighting. There are also a handful of monstrous mercenaries, as he calls them, which is not particularly uncommon in times of war, mixed in with soldiers, mainly drawn from Steppengard, with a smattering from Iz, Megadon, and Namen to go with it. So at that point, I think that the best option here for us is, as it's getting to be about that time, and I don't feel like forcing you guys to make a split-second decision in this, as you have time to think about it. What we'll do is we will discuss this. If you want to recap any particularly impactful discussion that happens, we can. But we will return next week with your decision on what, if any, or if either of these choices you guys would like to take, or both, if you wanted to try one and then the other. And yeah, we'll pick it up with whatever you guys choose to head towards first. But in the meantime, I'll say it for you, Ryan. That is where we will end tonight's session.